guys know what you have coming up this week. So how have you been handling that with the kids?
Well, there's a lot of things that come with being in a championship game, and some of it is logistics, where you have to figure out how things are going to go each day. We have a supportive community that's wanted to do some things for the kids as far as meal donations and helping with the travel. So, I spent a lot of time yesterday, as well as some of our staff members, getting things figured out for Friday. But on the football end of it, it's, I told them our focus and how sharp we are has to really be ramped up this week, because we're playing, one of the best two teams that we'll have seen this year.
But they do say that's why you play the game. I know we talked about this last year before you took them on in the championship game. But that is why you play the game. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I said it over the weekend. I feel like we're better equipped to give them a better game this year. That's taking nothing away from them. They're outstanding again, but I think we're pretty good too, and I think we've shown that. We've been able to adapt in different games to be able to overtake our opponent. I mean, we've done good things. We've been very good defensively lately. We've done enough offensively. I'd like to see more consistency there, and you have to, because they have a good, strong defensive front seven. But, one thing I've said about our guys this year and last year, and especially more this year with an older veteran group, is they've been very loose, and they understand that you have to prepare, but you have to be ready to play Friday night too.
How much have you guys been talking about that 2013 game to kind of use that as motivation?
I did show a video clip Monday after our meeting and our LGI at the very end, and I showed a WJAC replay clip which lasted about a minute and a half, and it still gives me chills to watch it, and I think it was something that surprised our guys that we pulled that out, but to look at. But I think that they responded pretty well to it as well.
Other than their athleticism, what makes it so easy for them to run the football?
Their size. They try to outnumber you or outflank you, so to speak, where they can get their size in good positions and try to wall you down. Their backs run hard, and they're athletic backs. Even Yazelitis, who's probably about 220, has very good feet. Michael Barish is a stronger-looking kid. He runs well. Conrad is just an exceptional athlete. There's others. I don't want to leave anybody out, but those are three of the bigger ones right there. And then they're athletic on the defensive side. They have two pretty big guys up inside, and their DNs and linebackers are strong, heavier kids, maybe in the 200-plus pound range. So we stress to our guys that we have to know where we're going, and we have to really get into guys and stay with our blocks.
And we talked about it a little bit last week, but how important is it that you guys are healthy at this point?
I think it's very important. I don't know what it is. Most of the years I've been here, we've made it through without a lot of serious injuries. I'd like to think that it's training in the off season. I'd like to think that we got guys that play multiple sports, and so therefore they've cross-trained, and they're tougher maybe. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Everybody's banged up at this time of year with bumps and bruises, but we haven't had anything major to deal with to this point, and we're very fortunate about that.
Do you think their will to win this game is going to be a lot larger just with the group of seniors, because you have such a big group of seniors this year?
I think we're going to need that will to win. Yeah, you have to. There's something to be said about experience and playing in these types of games. Guilfoyle, obviously dominated the game last year, although we did some good things. We can't let it get to that point. We have to rise up from the beginning and be prepared to give our best shot, and we have to sustain that for 4 quarters. There's no other way around that. So that's where your will to prepare and your will to compete really come into play.
And it seems like, even though you guys know what you're going up against, and I mean, it's fairly daunting, I'm sure, but it seems like the kids are still really excited. Like you said, it's still a championship game and things like that.
It is, and I think the further we go on in the week, the more they believe. I mean, you have to gain confidence. You're not going to be ready to play a game of this caliber on a Monday. Certainly on Tuesday. Today we had some rough edges where we need to clean some things up, but we have a couple more days to do that, and then by Friday it's go time. You have to be ready to put your best foot forward.
And last week's win might have not have been the prettiest, so what are you guys taking from that going into this week?
I mean, Ferndale had a quality team. I think the weather really affected both teams. I mean, the conventional thinking was it was going to affect them more because they threw more, but we had trouble getting footing with with our blocking schemes. Our backs couldn't get that one breakaway cut, that sort of thing. Ferndale deserves some credit for that, but it was just one of those days where I remember thinking Friday and early in the day Saturday, I just want to get through this because I knew it was going to be a little drier this week. We would be on turf, and we did enough. We really made some plays defensively and with special teams, and they had some special teams miscues, which really were the differences in the game.
And you guys have been able to get on the turf this week at Indiana High, so how big is that for you guys to be able to practice on that surface?
Well, first off, a big shout out to Indiana High School and their administration. It was very easy for us to make the arrangements. They were very accommodating. I mean, it's 15 minutes up the road, and we're able to, we had it to ourselves. We were able to take 2 hours and get some things done. I think it's important just to have solid footing when you're practicing and knowing that you don't have to worry about that aspect of it. So that, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, the ball will bounce differently on turf, so you have to be ready for the speed of it and the fact that it's a completely level playing field.
And just to be at this point and be, in the championship game again, and three times in 5 years now.
Yeah.
How's it feel just to be able to get back?
That's great. I think it says, first off, a whole ton about our staff. Our assistant coaches are outstanding. Every one of our coaches is a Homer alum but me, and that's a source of pride for those guys. They're entrenched in the community. Our kids over the last 5 years, I don't know what it is. Hopefully we've found ways to raise the level of our program, but even when we were 5-5, we were so young, and our kids played hard and won 5 football games, and we're very, very competitive in some losses that year. I'm just very proud. I'm proud to be a part of it. It's really everybody. Our community, they're so passionate about sports in general, and you've seen them on Friday nights at our place. It's just like it's like another world down in there. I mean, in a landlocked city block, it's just like people let loose, and it's just great to see. I'm happy for the people in our town. They're so supportive.
All right, Coach, sounds good. See you.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks.